in a comfortable seat. Ooh, you could take a few cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. There's nothing like a good old sigh.
Ooh. Oops.
Make sure that you turn off the microphone. Although when I was outside yesterday, the sounds that were coming in were beautiful. The birds, the wind, even the cars on the street didn't bother me a bit. It was nice to be outside. All we're doing is transitioning from maybe rushing to get here, settling in, sitting anywhere from upright in a chair to pillows, blankets, or directly on the floor. Doesn't have to be cross-legged. Every time we come to our mat, it might be a different place that you feel like sitting. The breaths are natural, but a cleansing breath here or there can help settle us in, making any adjustments with your body, even rocking forward, back, or side to side, tipping the chin up, down, or side to side. Closing the eyes if it's comfortable. If not, a downward gaze, focusing on something on the floor in front of you if you rather. Lifting the collarbones can help the shoulders drop down and keep the central channel open. Let the belly rest so the breaths can be fuller. So the natural breath comes and goes automatically. But whenever we come together in yoga, you might take a few deeper breaths. From the belly swelling on the inhale to the ribs expanding, all the way up to the chest, even pausing for a second or two. And then exhaling from chest to ribs to belly drawing back. The 3-part breath. Inhaling from the belly to the ribs to the chest. Exhaling chest, ribs, belly. You can feel different places in your torso, front to back, side to side. Bringing the life force in and up to the spiritual eye. The spiraling wheels of energy around the structural spine, from the base, tailbone, all the way up to the crown. Attention to that central channel. Deep concentration there. Our own energy and prana attached to the breath goes where our attention is. The breath is washing over us and through us. The breath is our anchor, even as the thoughts, feelings, and sensations float by like clouds in a windy sky. Whenever we get distracted, we just return to the breath. Bring your attention back to the spiritual eye, the third eye point. Maybe one word pops up, an intention for your yoga class today. One word. You might connect it to I am. Satnam in Indian Sanskrit means I am. I am that. Connecting the breath to the movement, visualizing the energy still moving up and down the spine. And let's start with a few shoulder rolls. You start your inhale, shoulders rise up, roll back and down. There's no need to rush. The arms and hands are just following the movement of the shoulders. You might even hear cracking and crunching. The next time the shoulders are back and down, you'll leave them here. Take another breath in and up, reaching the crown to the sky, and then exhale, chin over shoulder. Inhale the chin and crown through center. Exhale, chin over opposite shoulder. A couple of more times. Nothing else moves. There's no need to rush. Warming up the cervical chakra all around the structural spine at the neck. Some people imagine or see the bright blue, sky blue color here. You could imagine it. Come back to neutral if you feel balanced on both sides. Again, energy travels up, crown reaches gently, sweep the arms out and overhead, or maybe shoulder height. Make any adjustments in your seat. Palms together at the heart. Thumbs could even rest at the chest. Bringing our attention to the heart center. Some people imagine emerald green, or maybe as you breathe in, you imagine smelling a fragrant flower like lilacs, which are in season right now. Circle of joy. Inhale, clasp. Exhale, tuck and stretch the arms forward. Belly draws back. Inhale, rock forward, palms away. Reach up. Exhale, float the arms down and behind. If you're in a chair, you could hold the sides of the chair Expand the chest, however is good for you on the inhale. And then the exhale, back to heart center. Inhale, clasp. Exhale, tuck and stretch. Inhale, rock forward on your sitting bones. Reach the arms up. Exhale, float the arms down and behind. Maybe you use a strap or hold one thumb. Expand the chest, maybe open the throat and right back to neutral. Maybe 2 more times. Can you picture the energy swirling around at the heart center? When we breathe in, it swirls a little faster, the invisible energy. When we exhale, it spins a little slower in the opposite direction, creating space. The color emerald green, or maybe you're smelling the flower. One more circle of joy. Right back to neutral. From here, we're going to come into the supine position unless you want to stay on the chair. So take your time. Bring the knees to the chest. If you're on a chair, you lean forward to rest the back. On the floor, you could rock a little side to side. Knees to the chest. From here, a knee down twist. So the knees are squeezing, the ankles are squeezing, the arms are on the floor wherever they're comfortable for your shoulders. Head stays center. Big breath in. Bring the knees to one side, doesn't matter which. Use your core to bring the knees up and through center. Try the other side. See what it feels like. The knees could come to the floor. The feet could stay off the floor, using the core a little more. Everyone has a different constitution. You'll see what you want to do. If you want to rest the knees to one side, you will. If you want to hover them, you will. Take your time here. Attention a little lower at the lumbar. Come back to neutral. You can use a strap or your hands behind the knees or on top of the knees. Take your time getting comfortable here, back at neutral. Hold one knee, doesn't matter which. If you're in the chair, the knee comes up towards the nose. On the floor, the head comes up towards the knee. Back and forth a couple of times. Never pulling on the neck. Use your core muscles to make this exercise happen. Nose to knee. If you feel like you're using your neck, you could bring one hand behind the skull. Let the weight of the head rest in your hand if you're in the supine position. You could even hold, pressing the belly back towards the lumbar, the sacrum. Shoulders are resting, no pulling on the neck. If you held, try the other side, see what it feels like. The core of the body, pressing the belly into the lower back, somewhere between the lumbar and the sacrum. And then rest, rocking a little side to side, Maybe the head goes one way, the knees go the other, even though we weren't supposed to be using the neck. Sometimes we feel it there. And then roll to any side, and we'll come up to table for some cats and cows. You can cushion your knees, but if your knees don't like being on the floor, you could stay in your chair. Your attention is at the tailbone. We're gonna tuck the chin, the tail, round up, and then inhale, tailbone curls up. In this movement, our attention goes to the base of the spine, whether we're arching or hunching. You might feel this movement from the tail, first chakra, to a couple inches higher, to the navel center. Just think about those first 3 chakras, those energy wheels from the tail, the red spiraling wheel of energy, to a couple inches higher, the orange one, fluidity at that place. And then the navel center, bright yellow like the sun, spiraling. The red, orange, and yellow, bringing warmth. Fire is stoking. Keep coming back to the tailbone, to the central channel, to the energy centers. From here, you could curl your toes under if you were on the floor. Walk your hands back. You might come into a low squat if your knees are sound, that is. If you're in a chair, you might come to the supported squat. You can move your blanket or your pillow to the side. We're just seeing what the knees feel like today. Squatting a little, straightening. The feet could be wide. The first 3 chakras are connected to the hips, the legs, all the way down to the feet. The next time your legs are as straight as comfortable for your back, they don't have to be though. You could gently pull yourself towards one leg. See what that feels like. Legs could be softly bent or straight. Just a little. And then bend the knees forward, tuck the tail, or come up with a flat back. You might even feel like back bending when you come up. Wherever you are is right where you're supposed to be. In mountain pose, see if you can focus on the central channel again, from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown. Collarbones lift, legs look straight, but there's a micro bend at the knees. Fingers are stretching down. Make any adjustments in the head, neck, or shoulders. Bring your attention back to your breath. Follow it from the base of the spine all the way up. And then squeeze the base of the spine as if you were stopping the flow of urine, holding the breath, pausing for a second or 2, and then exhale right back down, releasing all the way to the base of the spine. A couple more times. Inhale from the base up, pull up at that place, the perineum, squeeze the muscles. You might remember Kegel exercises. Hold, release, keep going. In Indian Sanskrit, when we pull up and tighten those muscles at the base of the spine, It's called Mula Bandha. Some of us feel it, the pulling up all the way to the navel, Uddiyana Bandha. Keep going a couple more times, tensing those muscles as you breathe in and up, holding all that energy. Energy rises up and then slowly release. One more time. Keeping the face relaxed as you hold the Mula Bandha and then slowly release. Completely rest. The next posture is chair pose, and you're welcome to use the Mula Bandha, pulling up, and then the Uddiyana Bandha, the pulling in at the navel, will help us in chair pose. Inhale the arms forward, palms up. Exhale, bend the knees. They could even squeeze together if your back is sensitive. Hips back, pull up at the Mula Bandha. Hold the breath. Release, but stay in the pose. Inhale from the base up, tightening there. Feel the pulling up, maybe at the core. Hips back, pelvis down. The body is no burden. You're using your breath, the central channel, the pulling up at the base of the spine, the squeezing, but the face is relaxed. And then slowly release. You could curl up or come up with a flat back. Woo, completely rest. Rest and receive. The core is wrapped all around. The next pose is tree pose. You can use a chair, back of a chair or a counter. So you know that tree pose is balancing on one foot. But if you prefer to do palm tree, it's really good also. So it's up to you. Wherever you are, you could silently say, I am calm and poised. If you choose tree, you could rock to the right leg, open the left knee, use your core to hold you here, calm and poised. Slide the left foot up the standing leg, maybe all the way to the thigh. So the standing leg and the foot, of the bent leg are pressing together. The gaze is fixed, calm and poised. You would only close your eyes in the pose if you want more of a challenge. You can use your arms like the limbs of a tree. It's windy out. Palm tree or tree. Slowly come out, rest. A big breath in and up, offering the energy up. Let's try the other side. If you did tree, or you do palm tree again. So you rock foot to foot, eyes are softly opened at a downward gaze, fixed on a place that's not moving. Rock into the left leg, standing leg, open the right knee if you choose tree. Vikshasana. One side might be completely different than the other. It always is. Take your time. I am calm. I am poised. Slowly come out. Close the eyes, offering the energy up. The next posture, Warrior Two. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Step out as wide as comfortable for your hips. Turn the feet towards the left foot straight ahead if you could get it, that is. Right toes could be straight ahead or a little in. The front knee bends, the left knee. When you look down, you can still see your toes. The knee never goes beyond the front toes. Could be less. Float the arms out, palms up. It's very important for the left bent knee to not roll in or too far out. Just breathe. Relax the shoulders with the palms up. Can you relax your shoulders? Keep the central channel open from tail to crown. Maybe you focus on the sacral center, just behind and below the navel. Breathing here, focusing a couple inches higher than the tailbone. Maybe you imagine the orange spiraling wheel of energy, the color you might see at a sunrise or a sunset. The legs are getting warmer by focusing there. Legs are strong and warm. To come out of the posture, you would straighten the left leg, turn the 10 toes forward, hands to the heart, and rest. Big breath in and out. Let's try the other side. Pivot the right foot 90 degrees if you can. Left foot straight ahead or in a little. Soften the right knee as much as comfortable for you. Try to keep your chest forward. Float the arms halfway up, palms up. The front knee only bends as much as good for your knees. You can do this posture in a chair as well if your knees are really sensitive today. With the palms up, the shoulders are resting. If you're standing and using the muscles in your legs, focus on the sacral center. Can you picture the orange energy fueling your legs in the posture? The whole yoga class becomes a meditation if we can keep our focus at the breath, at the central channel. Deep concentration, connecting breath to movement, and visualizing the energy. To come out, you would straighten the right leg, 10 toes straight ahead. Hands could be at the hip. Now we're going to relax the sacral center. Forward bend. So the 10 toes are straight ahead. You can slide your hands down the back of the legs. If the fingertips comfortably come to the floor, that's what you'll do. If you rather use a block or the seat of a chair, depending on you, you could let your head hang below the heart. Relax the whole sacrum. Whether the head hangs or not, can you relax that place? Couple inches higher than the tailbone, the whole sacral center. And breathe here. Breathing and relaxing. To come out of the pose, if the head was hanging, use your breath to fuel your legs. Come to the halfway position, soften the knees, and creep the feet a little closer and closer. Bending the knees forward, you could curl up or come up with a flat back. You could even float the arms overhead. You might feel like a back bend. If the arms don't comfortably come overhead, you could bring your hands to your hips, your lower back, and see what that feels like. Completely opposite of what we just did, purposely. The next pose, once you've come up and get your feet underneath you, if you're standing, the feet come even closer. We're more balanced at this point. The feet, the big toe knuckles could be touching, but you wouldn't want to be anywhere where you don't feel balanced. We're coming into crescent moon. The two legs are strong like one. Float the arms out and overhead. You might hook your thumbs together. I'm going to do it kneeling so you can see what I'm doing. Spill to one side. Inhale through middle. Thumbs are locked and I'm pulling my thumbs away from each other. Just gently spill side to side, either sitting, kneeling, standing. You could even hold on one side, breathing in and up the crescent moon. One side's a little compressed, the other side is open. If you held on one side, you'll try it on the other. Arms are equally close to the ears. And if the arms overhead are no good, you could bring your hands behind your skull. Come back to neutral. Completely rest. If you were standing, you'll come down to the floor. We're moving our energy up purposely. And now coming into the heart center. The next posture is upward boat. You could sit on a folded blanket, especially if you have an old tailbone injury. So the first place, the knees are bent and the hands are behind the knees. You could flex the lower spine a couple times, see what it feels like down there in between tail and sacrum. And then lift the collarbones. When you let go, you're already using your core. If you leaned back a little, you're using your core more. Palms up. Heart is open. Moving the energy up from the lower chakras into the upper. But you can still feel the strength at the core. If this is too easy for you, you could take your feet up and off the floor. Tone the core. As you open your heart, maybe even letting go with the feet up. Breathe here. The heart is open. The energy is moving up. If it was still too easy, you could straighten your legs. Try not to sink in the lower back. And then slowly come out. When you come out this time, soles of the feet together. Find the central channel, find a straight, upright spine, open heart. Eyes could be closed. The heart is open. Breathe. From here, you can come into any comfortable seat for you. I'm going to come into hero again. I cushion my ankles. We've already done a lot focusing on the core of the body. Can you feel the strength there wherever you are? From sitting in a chair to kneeling or cross-legged, whatever is good for you. The tone at the core of the body, from the tail to the navel center, is holding us upright, allowing the heart to be open comfortably. Make any adjustments with your chin. From here, silently, you'll chant Om 100 times. If you want to count silently, you will. If you don't want to, I'm going to anyway. So just silently chant Om, 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 Om. Tip the chin up, open the throat without dropping the head completely back. Continue to chant silently, Om, 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 Om. Tip the chin back down to neutral. If you're kneeling, you could come to the standing kneeling position. Attention still at the central channel. Bring your hands to your lower back or fists. If your wrists are flexible, the fingers point up, elbows point towards each other. Hips over knees. You can do this in a chair, sitting forward in the chair. If this is no good for your wrists, you use your fists. Attention at the heart, the throat, opening the throat, only dropping the head completely back if your neck is okay with that. The hands at the lower back are pushing down and out. The energy is moving from the heart to the throat. To come out, some people lean to one side or the other. If you're in a chair, you'll forward fold. If you're on the floor, you'll come into child pose. You can rest your head wherever it's comfortable. On stacked fists, you could splay the knees apart and just rest and breathe. Keep coming back to the breath. Keep coming back to the central channel, where our attention goes, the energy flows. You might also return to your intention. Wherever your third eye is resting, spiritual eye, every time you breathe in and out, you might feel the gentle press of the third eye point. Returning to your intention, I am. If no word pops up for you today, just silently chanting I am or Sat Nam. Slowly rise up. You can stay on the chair if you prefer. You can stay on the floor if it feels good to you. Cross-legged or kneeling, preparing for a seated twist. Wherever you are, follow the breath in and up, reaching the crown to the sky. It's important to find a long, straight spine before a twist. From here, find the length, slowly twist to one side or the other. Deepening only as you feel comfortable. The last thing that twists would be the head and neck, maybe looking over the back shoulder, stretching the eyes a bit. Can you feel the straight line from the tail to the crown? Shoulders are relaxing, keeping the cervical center open. Move the head however you want to. Stay in the twist and breathe. Enjoy it. Slowly unwind at your own pace. Find the central channel again, lifting the collarbones. Keep your gaze forward. Let the hips be solid as the belly turns. The ribs hard. Maybe the last thing that goes would be chin over back shoulder, but not if it didn't feel good. You might prefer to look forward sometimes. Or you might prefer to stretch your eyes behind you some of the time. Or move the tip of your nose. Bring your attention back to your breath, back to the central channel. Breathing in and up, moving the energy up from tail to sacral center, lumbar, heart, throat. Relax the shoulders and slowly unwind. Right back to neutral. From here, you could adjust your seat if you need to. Anywhere from the chair to pillows or the floor. Eyes are softly opened. From here, follow the breath in and up, reaching the crown to the heavens. Exhale, one ear to one shoulder. Nothing else moves. Inhale, crown through center. Exhale, opposite ear to shoulder. A couple more times, either side. There's no need to rush. When you come through center, feel the length you create with your own breath. When you feel balanced, you'll come back to neutral. The next pose is a simple inversion. So it could be, this is a false wall, but if you have a wall right near you, you could put a blanket next to the wall and sit with your hip and your shoulder at the wall and then roll down, legs up the wall. That could be your inversion with the blanket under your hips. You could come into bridge and use a block under your hips. You could use a chair. I'll show you with this one. You know bridge pose, and you could slide a zafu, a firm pillow, or a block. So here I am sitting sideways to the chair. I turn around. My hands are holding the legs of the chair. So shoulder stand with the chair could look like this. You could lift one leg, see what it feels like, the other leg. Some people in this class know and love shoulder stand. The elbows poke in, fingertips straight up, and they feel comfortable here. Never turn your head in an inversion. Let the belly hang right out wherever you are, in whatever inversion you're in. Take your time here. If you're using legs up the wall with your hips on a blanket or your hips on a block from bridge, legs straight up, Viparita Karani is the most meditative pose there is. With the legs up, wherever you are, we're drawn to the third eye point, the spiritual eye. Look there. Come back to your intention, possibly. I am. Maybe just Satnam. That could be enough. I am that. Satnam, Satnam. Inhale Sat, exhale Nam. Inhale I, exhale M. At your own pace. If you're ready, if you're at a wall, you would bend your knees, roll to the side. Take your time coming out from wherever you are, mindfully. If you're on a block, bring the feet to the floor, slide the block out. The next posture is a heart opener, rolling onto the back of the head in the full out fish, which I'll show right here. Arms could be beside you, legs straight. You roll onto the back of the head. My hips are pressing down. There's hardly any weight on the back of my head. Some people do not like that pose at all. So they would rather get the same thing by sitting upright, using fists or hands to open the heart, the throat. Take your time coming to the place that's right for you. You can also do fish with a prop, a blanket, a bolster. Legs could be straight or bent, whatever's right for you. The energy is moving upward wherever you are with your heart throat opener. open throat. If you were in the full out fish, you would let your head travel, slowly come out, and roll to the side, eventually coming back to a seated position. And you return to a comfortable seat. Float the arms out, following the breath. Palms together and thumbs rest on the spiritual eye. Breathing in and up. From here, the arms float down and behind. Some people can comfortably come into reverse namaste. Palms together, point the fingers toward the back. This is not right for all of us. If you cannot do this, hold your elbows. Open the throat. Leave space at the back of the neck. Wherever you are is right where you're supposed to be. Reverse namaste is not something that we grew up practicing. Wherever you are is right where you're supposed to be. Take your time here and breathe. Breathe in and up the central channel of the body. Whether you were holding reverse namaste or your elbows, slowly release. Ooh. Float the arms out and up. Palms up. The arms only go as high as comfortable for you to keep space in the neck, shoulders. Palms are up. Energy is moving up. The arms are a connection to the heart. The heart is a connection to the upper chakras, all the way to the crown. Can you picture or imagine a halo of energy circling a couple inches higher than the crown of the head? Breathe here, moving the energy up and relaxing the shoulders, relaxing our thoughts. Slowly release the arms, as slow as you've ever gone before. Enjoy the release. The next posture is the supine cobbler. So you can come from your chair to the floor because we're going to relaxation if it's all right for your body today. Make sure there's nothing behind you. The soles of the feet come together. You know this posture is cobbler. You can come down onto your forearms and see with your own eyes that you're right at the central channel and your alignment is good here. And then from here, you can come all the way down, tuck the shoulders under, roll the palms up. You can keep the supine cobbler for a couple of breaths here, bringing our own back into its natural curves. Follow your breath from your tail up the little curve at the lower back and continue to the little curve at the cervical spine, the neck. Maybe you gently rock the head side to side, signaling the neck. It's okay to let go. Relax your shoulders. Whenever you're ready, you could straighten one leg and then the other. Let the feet flop open. Let the toes fan out like the ferns that might be growing in your yard or on a trail that you walked on recently. Those beautiful green ferns with all the space between the leaves. Can you feel the space between your own toes? Take the time to scan the body, and if your back doesn't feel good with straight legs, you would bend your knees. You can let your knees fall together, feet wide, restorative relaxation. Letting go here. Move the relaxation to all the big muscles, legs, hips, shoulders. Take your time resting and receiving. If laying on the back doesn't feel good for you on any given day, you can lay on your side. The hope in relaxation is that the mind will follow as we let go of the big muscles of the body. Connecting to our true self, not just the body, not just the mind, but the soul. Feel it. Relaxing enough, following your own exhale to feel your true self, your spirit. Spirit and soul, without forcing anything. Imagine the connection. It's not unusual to feel a connection to those who have gone before us. Take a deeper breath in now. Feel the belly rise, breathing front to back, side to side, just like we did in the beginning. Another breath in, inviting gentle movements into your toes, your fingers. You might even have another pose left in you. Take your time, a full body stretch maybe, at your own pace. Finding yourself back to a comfortable seat. Taking your time from the chair to the pillows to the floor, finding the straight spine without forcing. Eyes could be closed or softly opened. Come back to the central channel. Again, come back to the breath, the anchor, and deep concentration whenever you want to on the breath, on the central channel, connecting breath to movement. Maybe you sweep your arms out overhead, draw the palms together, palms to the third eye point, and then to the heart center. Another breath in and up. Feel the rise of the chest against the thumbs. Exhale, namaste.